It's Tuesday, May 19th. Today, a warning from doctors. A high risk of measles spread from domestic and international tourists. Is Canada's healthcare system ready for a worst-case scenario during the World Cup? Also, preparing for a pivotal decision. The future of the snowbirds and the growing concern in Moose Jaw. What the loss would mean for the community and Canada's identity. Plus, the newest champions of Canadian Junior A hockey. How fans reacted to the Niverville Nighthawks Centennial Cup Championship game. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to you. We hope you had a wonderful long weekend. Thank you so much for joining us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. And we have Ainsley telling us all about the importance of paramedics. She's going to be at WFPS station number 9. Paramedics, every day, they go out in some crazy scenarios and they save lives. So it's their appreciation week. We're going to talk a little bit more about the important work they do, what you could do to support them, as well as appreciate them. But the weather, I appreciated the weather.
How was your long weekend?
It was
you had
so
an extra long weekend.
It was cooler than I wanted.
Yeah.
I did get outside and do some work, a little bit of work in the yard, but it was frigid.
But it gave you all the reason to relax.
It did.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Well, take another day off, will ya? Because today is going to be another day that you might want to sit back and relax through as well. 3 degrees is where we're sitting right now with some heavier clouds hanging over us. There's a bit of a breeze. It's out of the north. It's 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 94%. Yeah, coming off of that somewhat cool weekend, we've got a cool start to a short week, and thankfully we'll see some improvements throughout this short week, but today will not be the day that we start to see those improvements. Instead, the heavier clouds hanging around, even possibly some precipitation. Thankfully, not likely in flurry form. That's what we're seeing just off to the east of us. Yeah, waking up to some snow. That's parts of northwestern Ontario. I was going to say in the clear. We're obviously not in the clear. Where it's clear, that's where central parts of northern Manitoba are experiencing right now. We've got the heavier clouds, but no precipitation just yet. But that may change with the possibility of some scattered showers. At least it'll warm up enough that we'll likely see that precipitation, if we do, in shower form. And then clearing out overnight, that'll set us up for a lot more sunshine tomorrow. A lot more warmth as well once we see that sunshine again. And the latter part of this week, or the rest of this week, and even into the weekend, temperatures are looking far better than where we've been. Will they reach seasonal values? At times, but at times there will also be a little bit more precipitation off and on. So today, well off the mark of a seasonal 21 degrees, 9 instead. So a cool start to the week. But I mentioned those improvements will take us to almost seasonal or even marking that temp at times. But we could be seeing some scattered precipitation a few days throughout this week.
Thank you, Terry. Another warning about a high risk of measles spreading is coming from Canada's Public Health Agency as Toronto and Vancouver prepare to host the FIFA World Cup. With so many people from different countries coming at once, that's not the only virus doctors are concerned about. CTV's Kamil Karamali reports.
In less than a month, soccer fans from around the world will be flooding these Toronto streets with celebrations. But there's concern they'll be bringing more than just a love of the beautiful game with them.
For me, it will always be a concern in terms of health hazard because, for example, not everybody will be doing the proper hygiene.
And that means Althea Robinson will be taking extra precautions.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a mask and sanitize.
A report from the Public Health Agency of Canada says out of over a dozen infectious disease pathogens at risk of spreading during the FIFA events, there's one topping the chart, with measles the only one at high risk to the public, with Mpox second on that list at a moderate risk of transmission.
In most of the communities, particularly that surround Toronto, we see lower vaccine rates, and so as a result, we've got very high risk.
Last year, Canada saw its largest measles outbreak in decades, with more than 5,000 cases reported. While that spread has now slowed, the highly infectious disease is still seeing tens of thousands of cases in other countries this year alone.
Both Ontario and BC say they're increasing surveillance to keep a closer lookout for the spread of diseases during World Cup gatherings and have a plan in place for a potential outbreak.
But with an overburdened healthcare system, doctors question whether Canada's host cities are actually ready for a worst-case scenario.
I think we are understaffed, and this is something we need to seriously think about. How are you going to get, let's say, additional staff.
These soccer fans, though, aren't really sweating it.
This is like a minor. You be careful, but still don't let it dictate your happiness.
Hoping to welcome the world with open arms and embrace almost everything that comes with it. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
Developing news out of California, where a deadly shooting rampage at the Islamic Center of San Diego is being investigated as a hate crime. 3 people were killed outside the sprawling place of worship, among them a security guard for the center. Police say a landscaper was shot at a few blocks away but was not injured. The mother of one of the suspects had warned authorities hours earlier that her son was armed and suicidal.
She realized that she was missing weapons, multiple weapons. Her vehicle was missing. There are details that she was beginning to develop a bigger picture as to what she was dealing with, was conveying that to our folks, and we were trying to put that together and get out in front of this as quickly as we could.
It is extremely outrageous to target a place of worship. Our Islamic Center is a place of worship. People come to the Islamic Center to pray, to celebrate, to learn.
2 teenage suspects were found in a vehicle stopped in the middle of a road nearby. Police say they appear to have died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Canada's finance minister is meeting with his G7 counterparts in Paris.
A lot on the agenda, imbalances, the state of the world, obviously the Strait of Hormuz, the situation, how we can tackle that together. I think we need to show unity, ambition, and I am very confident in the French presidency to guide our discussions over the next 2 days. So it's great to be in Paris as always, great to see the G7 colleagues, and we'll certainly have more to say over the next few days.
The talks come as the ongoing war in Iran continues to disrupt the global economy. The leaders are also expected to discuss the growing threat of cyber attacks using artificial intelligence, as well as broader access to critical minerals. Central bank governors are also taking part in the talks, which are set to run through today. It wasn't the best spring weather on Victoria Day, but nothing could stop the sound of bagpipes. The St. Andrew's Society held its annual pop-up Piper performance on Monday next to the Queen Victoria statue in Assiniboine Park. This year, Matthew Owen Hunt from the Lord Selkirk Robert Fraser Memorial Pipe Band brought the tunes. Society President Dwight McCauley says there is no doubt about the uniqueness of the sound.
You can hear it coming in a parade half a mile away. I think it's just so easily identified with a certain culture, with the Scots and with the heritage. And Manitoba and Canada has a large Scottish population, really, or diaspora. So, and I think people just like to come out. It's free, of course, just to come out and enjoy the day and have a little entertainment as well.
And in case you didn't know, Canada is the only country that celebrates Victoria Day. The wait is over. Japanese retailer Uniqlo has officially opened its first Winnipeg location. More than 1,000 people turned out for the grand opening at Ciapolo Park Friday. The store spans 18,000 square feet and features the brand's beloved elevated basics. To celebrate, the store offered the first 500 customers a commemorative Uniqlo Polo Park tote, complimentary cookies and coffee from local brands, a taiko drumming performance, and gifts with purchases. Organizers say a lot of thought and time was put into choosing to open in the Winnipeg market.
Looking at store development, we have a very aggressive plan for the next several years to open more stores, but Winnipeg was the one market where we had a really large online presence, so lots of people shopping online, so there was a demand, and finally we're able to build a retail store. Start to finish, it does take a couple years from like the leasing, finding the right spots. Definitely within the mall we take up a large square footage, so we need to make sure that we have the right location.
Uniqlo is also opening another location at St. Vital Centre sometime later this year. The Victoria Day long weekend ended with a bang. It's the unofficial start to summer, and depending on where you live, it sure felt like it. In southern Ontario and the GTA, it was hot with temperatures reaching into the mid-20s. But in Calgary this weekend, there was snow. Here's a look outside now, what's going on at Confusion Corner. Things are slowly picking up in this part of the city, but overall moving well. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's telling us all about Paramedic Services Week. And we're sending out some appreciation as well. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning.
you have to appreciate them too because of the different facets of their roles. I've already learned so much this morning. So you've got your primary care paramedic, your advanced care paramedic, and your advanced care paramedic practitioner. And while that is a mouthful, they do some specialized training. We're going to be chatting with one coming up at 6:42. As it pertains to the paramedics and the calls for service in this city, first of all, they're one of the only in Canada to have a conjoined fire and paramedic service, and the amount of calls that they see per year just on the medical side, over 110,000 of them. So certainly some of the biggest volume they're seeing too in North America. So yeah, let's take this week and honor and celebrate them.
We will indeed. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go up to the rooftop now. Snow in Calgary. We didn't get snow, but it wasn't warm here either.
Ooh, I went out to Saskatchewan over the weekend, and let me tell you, it was piling up out there. Like within a couple of hours, a couple of centimeters had fallen, and it stuck and created some near zero visibility for my drive back home as I was racing to escape it. I'm like, I'm not staying here. Listen, here's the thing. It's cool even though we aren't seeing any of that precipitation. We're just a few degrees above the freezing mark and several degrees below what is normal for low temperatures. Actually, not several degrees, but about 6 would be that seasonal low. So it is a cool start to the morning and a little bit breezy as well. That north wind is 23 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 91%, just above the freezing mark. And I would have worn my more wintry like coat, except there is the possibility of some precipitation today. So I thought I'd better go with the rain jacket, or at least the waterproof layer, just in case. But honestly, I think I wish I had a little more warmth around me right now. Not that we're going to be getting much today, because Mother Nature is giving us a cool start to this week, not just with the morning temperatures, but even our expected highs that'll likely stay in the single digits today. 21 degrees would be normal. I just saw a raindrop. Maybe it was a snowflake. I don't even know. Anyway, 9 degrees, that's where we're going to top out. So bundle up today. It will be a little bit cool. We're taking a break. We'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Good morning. A Sunday afternoon house fire in Winnipeg's Meadowwood neighborhood sent one person to hospital. Around 5:50 p.m., firefighters were sent to a home in the 300 block of Greenwood Avenue after reports of a fire. When they arrived, crews found smoke and flames from the home, attacked the fire, and brought it under control about an hour later. One person was sent to hospital in stable condition. No injuries were reported and no damage estimates were available. The city says based on initial observations, the fire was accidental and related to the home's electrical system. Canada's defense minister is expected to make a major announcement today on the future of the country's famed snowbirds. There's growing worry the aviators could be grounded for years. The team is based in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, where, as CTV's Graham Richardson found, the uncertainty is raising serious concerns for the community.
34-foot-tall Mac the Moose towers over Moose Jaw, along with the legacy of the Canadian Forces Snowbirds jets after more than 50 years in the air. But there are concerns here that a pending major change in the fleet could keep the planes grounded for years.
We're not shy on national symbols here in Canada, but you know, we need that national pride, and I think the snowbirds are probably the symbol of that, and we are proud of them in Moose Jaw.
Defense Minister David McGuinty is set to announce changes here at CFB Moose Jaw. At Hopkins Diner, Snowbird's history covers the walls. The head of the local flying club is hopeful the government is poised to finally replace the aging fleet. But buying new jets will take years, and like many, he's concerned about any pending gap.
You know, the worry here is that the gap might turn from a year or 2 years into 5. And then you lose that expertise, that culture of safety.
There is a deep connection here in Moose Jaw to this flying team, going back decades at gathering places like Hopkins.
Flights from all over the world would come here, and we'd get autographs and pictures, and all the pilots would hang out here, and it was just a lot of fun for them to interact with each other than in the air.
The local Conservative MP says he's worried about the replacement plan.
They can fly a modified show, for the next few years until new aircraft comes in. So there are alternatives, but this Liberal government seems to be looking at life through a straw.
The good news here is it appears the government is finally moving towards replacing the snowbirds. But as always, whenever government buys something, especially military, the question is how long will it take? And will the snowbirds be grounded in the interim? Graham Richardson, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
The U.S. has slapped tariffs on another Canadian product, mushrooms.
40% of the mushrooms in Canada are shipped to the U.S. And so what's going to happen as tariffs increase going to the U.S., it may keep more mushrooms within Canada, which then it would flood our market.
Starting this week, Canadian-grown mushrooms will face U.S. tariffs of up to 5%. A U.S. Department of Commerce investigation cited unfair government supports, something the Canadian industry has called deeply flawed. Separate anti-dumping duties are also expected later this month. The Canadian mushroom industry plans to fight the new tariffs, but says many farmers may need to cut back their production, which could lead to job cuts. 10 years of rock and roll and more to come. The School of Rock Winnipeg celebrated its 10th anniversary on Saturday. A live music event was held at Side Stage Winnipeg, featuring musical performances by students, instructors, and founders, along with a silent auction. The general manager of the organization says they take a song-first approach, where students learn how to play a classic rock song first, and then they break down the theory behind it.
It becomes a really engaging way to learn music with many students, as well as pairing that with the performance element of our school. It gets people in bands, gets people performing, makes those connections, makes friendships, and builds lifelong memories.
School of Rock Winnipeg opened its doors in 2016. Charbonneau says the school now has around 200 students, with the oldest student at the age of 78. The Habs have pulled off another Game 7 win, this time beating the Sabres in overtime.
And taken by Alexander Carrier. Headmans the puck. Shot, score! Montreal wins Game 7.
The Habs jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but Buffalo chipped away until they tied it up in the third. Alex Newhook then came up big for the Habs, scoring 11 minutes into overtime. Habs won this one 3-2 in an absolute thriller. Newhook had also scored the winning goal in Game 7 against the Lightning in the last round.
I wasn't sure if Jake touched it, so I kind of looked at him to see if he was going to celebrate or not. But yeah, I mean, it's a crazy feeling, a lot of emotion, obviously.
The Habs will now take on the Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final. Game 1 is Thursday in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound curb and bike lane on Sherbrooke Street will be closed from Broadway to Cumberland Avenue. On Portage, the westbound middle lane will be closed from Carleton to Edmonton, and the westbound curb lane will be closed from Colony to Balmoral. And the Waterfront Drive will be closed from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. between Pioneer and Lombard Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
A look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Heavy clouds hanging over the city and the possibility that they bring a little bit of light drizzle or shower activity. We're not seeing much of that at this time, but it doesn't mean that we won't. The possibility is certainly there, and some cool temperatures that we can expect to endure throughout the day. Not just morning temperatures, but it'll stay below seasonal right throughout today. Starting out at 3 degrees right now with similar temperatures all throughout southern Manitoba, and then even cooler once we're starting to look through more of central or north central Manitoba, just below the freezing mark, Swan River and the Pod. This is actually where it's the clearest, but clear often means colder, and that's certainly what we're experiencing right now. Other places, a few extra clouds providing that slight layer of insulation, although over in Churchill, you too are below the freezing mark, starting out at -7. As we rise through the day today, it won't be by much. 4 degrees by the time kids are getting into the classroom, with those heavier clouds lingering throughout the day. 6 through the lunch hour, 8 by the time they're coming home again, with 9 our expected high. So not even getting up into double digits today, when 21 degrees, well, that would be normal for this time of year. Today with those clouds comes that possibility of showers, but then clearing overnight, making way for sunshine tomorrow, and a nice big warm up to come along with that sunshine. Now, there might still be some precipitation precipitation. Later on through the week, we will welcome it, though. It's dry. We're needing it. Streets could use a good washing. That dust storm last week reminds us of just how dry and dusty it is. So a few days of precipitation, but some much nicer temperatures. And those will last not just through the week, but into the weekend, too. And our little fox having a little relax out in Lundar Beach area. It's a brand new babe, just a little kit out there. Thanks to Brianne for sharing the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. The Niverville Nighthawks are the newest champions of Canadian Junior A hockey. The team battled their final game in their quest for the Centennial Cup on Sunday in Summerside, PEI. The Nighthawks scored at least one goal every period against the host Summerside Western Capitals, with a final score of 4-1. The horn was blown, helmets and sticks were dropped, and the Nighthawks celebrated their win in just 4 years since the team was established. And now CTV photojournalist Zach Kitchen brings you the massive outpouring of support and cheers for the Nighthawks at Smitty's Niverville on Sunday.
It's like a storybook that we're telling this season. Right from the beginning of day one, when camp started, we had a special group of guys. We knew we had the coaching staff, we've got the organization, the culture, but now it's part of the community, and the community's just embraced the Nighthawks. We've been here for the entire Centennial Cup for the last 5 games, and it is just energy galore in this building when the Nighthawks score. And when we won last night to get to the Centennial final, it was just remarkable. The energy was outstanding.
Awesome game. It's so exciting. Super exciting.
I was surprised in a way, but thank God they made it through. They're a good team. It's good for the community. It's good for the fans. It's good for hockey. In other words, excellent. The spirit, the ambience, everything is really good.
To see these kids, these young men that haven't quit all year long, that have just come together as a unit. But you know what, it's not just about on the ice, it's also off the ice, how they've integrated themselves into the community through volunteering, going to the schools. What it means to the community, what I hear from the parents is that when the kids are playing their mini sticks, it's a Nighthawks against the Jets, and the Nighthawks always win.
Best of luck to the Washington Nationals' new call-up. Natty is making himself a home at the ballpark. The 8-week-old Golden Retriever and Labrador Retriever mix is the Nats' new official puppy. Natty will be with the team for 18 months, and he'll spend that time training not to field fly balls. He's training to become a service dog. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is dollar. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter dollar with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck.
Three degrees outside this morning, so a cool start to your Tuesday with some heavier clouds and a bit of a breeze out of the north, 23 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 91%. It might look a little bit gray and gloomy throughout the day today. Heavier clouds are likely to linger, and we may even see some light and scattered precipitation. Hopefully, anything that we see will be in liquid form. You can see in areas just off to the east, a little bit of snow making an appearance in parts of northwestern Ontario. A little bit of green showing up, a little bit there as well, but flakes are certainly possible with these early morning temperatures. By the time we're likely to see that, it'll probably be a few degrees warmer, so most likely to see it appear in shower form. If we see it at all, it is only about a 30% chance of that precipitation, which we need, so we will welcome it. It would be nice to get some warmer, more seasonal temperatures, though. And today we'll be far off of that, getting up to a high of about 9 degrees. 21 would be a normal daytime high, so nowhere near that today. And then falling back to the freezing mark or just barely above it overnight. The sky, however, begins to clear overnight after seeing those heavier clouds hanging around throughout the day. With those clearer conditions lingering into tomorrow, we'll see a lot more sunshine and feel a lot more heat, up to 19 degrees. So not quite seasonal, but a lot closer. And still a little bit of a breeze that will endure up to about 40 kilometers per hour. And with all of this dust that we've been dealing with, a little bit of precipitation wouldn't be a bad thing. There is the possibility of seeing some of that through Thursday, especially into the evening time, and then maybe even later on this week. Temperatures after today are looking far better. In fact, we've got some heat coming our way into the start of next week.
Thank you, Terry. A warning from Winnipeg police to parents and students about a popular game known as Senior Assassin. A young player came face to face with officers searching for two 17-year-old suspects after gunshots were fired in the air. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, police say those water guns can be mistaken for the real thing.
Following a close call, Winnipeg police are once again urging graduating high school students to put their water guns away.
The WPS advises against engaging in this activity given the potential risk to players.
Senior Assassin is a live-action outdoor game growing in popularity, where students eliminate each other with water guns until there is a lone survivor. The WPS and RCMP have both cautioned water guns can be mistaken for real ones by members of the public and police officers. Now, they can back up that concern with a real-life example.
It becomes a possibly dangerous situation for not only for the police officers, but obviously for the young adult that was playing the game.
On May 12th and 13th, police responded to 4 real shootings in the West End. On this stretch of Toronto Street, gunshots were fired in the air in a rear lane. While looking for the armed suspects, police came upon a youth holding a water gun who was playing Senior Assassin.
As I can imagine, they would approach with uncertainty as to whether or not that was a real firearm.
Luckily, no one was hurt, but police say officers have to treat anything resembling a gun as the real deal until they know otherwise. Mom, Keisha Boss, says she's encouraged to hear students are playing outside away from their phones or iPads.
It's great to see kids still out and about.
But she says with the amount of firearms on city streets and cops on the lookout, water balloons might be a better option.
A manner that doesn't, bring a little bit of alarm to other people and whatnot, right? Like if you're far enough away, they're not going to notice it's a water gun right away. They're just going to be like, oh no.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
As for the actual shootings, police say they arrested 2 17-year-old male suspects wearing face masks. They're both charged with several gun and drug offenses. Tens of millions of dollars will go to rural communities across Manitoba to improve internet and transit services. More than 2,300 households from 11 communities are expected to benefit from a federal funding boost to 4 high-speed internet projects. It includes Grand Rapids, York Factory First Nation, Garden Hill First Nation, Red Sucker Lake, and Moose Lake. Completion dates range from December to March of 2029. 5 transit projects are also getting a boost from the feds. It includes the purchase of a new bus for Arborg and a van for Dauphin, transit feasibility studies for Fisher River Cree Nation and Pine Creek First Nation, along with an active transportation pathway into Tasqueyac Cree Nation. Total funding for all the projects is pegged at more than $63 million. Several Canadians aboard a fleet of ships heading to Gaza have now been detained by Israel.
We're all really nervous. We see reports that more and more boats are being captured.
According to the Global Samud Flotilla organization, 11 Canadians have now been detained by Israeli forces. In all, there are 54 vessels with Canadians and other people on board. They say they are trying to draw attention to the Israeli blockade and the ongoing situation in Gaza. The group says the detained Canadians will now stage a hunger strike, hoping to push governments to do more to help. U.S. President Donald Trump says he will hold off on new attacks on Iran, which would have started today.
We've informed Israel. We've informed other people in the Middle East that have been involved with us. And, it's a very positive development, but we'll see whether or not it amounts to anything.
President Trump says he was asked to hold off by Gulf states because of serious negotiations with Iran. He also says the U.S. military is ready to act at a moment's notice. Iran says it is willing to talk, but it will not surrender. State media this morning says the latest proposal from Tehran includes demands including ending hostilities on all fronts, lifting of sanctions, and the end of the U.S. blockade. The U.S. is pulling out of a military board with Canada that has been around for more than 80 years. This board was started in 1940 as a forum on bilateral defense cooperation. But now the U.S. Undersecretary of Defense says it's out, claiming Canada isn't making credible progress on its defense commitments. Canada spent $63.4 billion on defense in 2025, meeting its NATO spending target for the first time. Toronto police are looking for a driver who crashed into a fireworks store. The crash happened early Monday morning in Etobicoke. Police say by the time crews arrived, there was big fire and the driver was gone. No injuries were reported. The fire also caused damage to units next to the fireworks store. No word yet on what caused the crash. Police did not say if the crash is considered suspicious. Here's what's happening now on Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Things are moving well over here to start off this Tuesday morning. If you see any issues out there, please send us a text to let us know. And here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.78. It's lower than it was on Friday. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.63. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
We are celebrating paramedics as it's Paramedic Services Week. We're going to find out more about the important work they do in our community. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
All right, we're rolling into the week with some cooler temperatures, no doubt about that. It was cool over the weekend, and that continues for another day. But then we're going to see some really drastic and for the better improvements throughout the rest of this week. So we just have to get through today. And today will come with some clouds and these cool below seasonal temperatures starting out at 3 degrees with a bit of a breeze out of the north, 23 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 91%. With these clouds comes the possibility of some light precipitation. It's a slim chance, 30% chance of some showers. Thankfully showers, because it's actually cool enough. Well, this morning, if we saw that, there would be perhaps a couple flakes of snow, but we're certainly seeing those flakes of snow in areas off to the east of us through much of northwestern Ontario. They're waking up to some scattered snow this morning. So that possibility is still there. I always say don't do anything plant-wise until May long, but we've actually got frost warnings in place. May long is passed, and we're waking up to some frost warnings all along that western border. So it is a cool start for everybody today, but we'll see some improvements throughout this week. Today, topping out at 9 with that chance of showers. Let's check in with Ainsley McPhail now, see where she's at and what's happening. Hey, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. It's Paramedic Services Week. Shannon Dudich joins us now. She is a advanced care paramedic practitioner. So I'm the one who had to get all of that alliteration out, but it's clearly an important role. Tell us all about it, Shannon.
So from day to day, we respond to all medical calls, but we're specialized in responding to pediatric calls, specifically pediatrics under 1 month. We respond to pregnancy and childbirth calls and palliative care calls in the community.
Mm-hmm. You guys see a pretty big volume of calls, over 110,000 calls per year. So a very stressful job, I should say. What got you into it? Why did you want to do it?
I just like to be that person who knows how to help people in the moment that they're having a bad day or don't know what to do, and be that person for them.
And some of the training involved in this as well. So the advanced care paramedic practitioner. There's levels to this, as I've said. So how does that work?
So when you start as a primary care paramedic here in the city, you can advance your training to become an advanced care paramedic. We train people here in the city. And then also you can apply to become an advanced care paramedic practitioner and go through a interview process and then get some specialized training there.
And when it comes to that specialized role, the city of Winnipeg hasn't had that forever. It's quite new in translation. Is that something that you've observed as well?
Yes, the advanced care paramedic practitioner role has been around for, I think, about 7 or 8 years, so it is fairly new to the city.
And if there's anybody watching right now thinking, oh, this is a career that I might want to join myself, what would your call to them be?
So this is definitely an exciting career. I've never had the same day twice. I love helping people, and yeah, it's a great career.
Is there any message, too, that you'd want to say to your colleagues?
I want to wish them all a happy EMS Services Week and thank them for everything they do every day for the people here in Winnipeg.
Thank you so much. More coming up after the break.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones lost 89 points. The Nasdaq fell 206. The S&P index is 28 points lower. The Canadian dollar decreased. It's now set to 72.65 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng added 122 points, and the Nikkei is 265 points down. Good morning. It is 6:46. A 6-year-old child who went missing was found dead Saturday morning. Around 6 a.m., Mounties in Poplar River received a report that a child went missing. Police say her father woke up to find out that the front door was open and his daughter couldn't be found. Community and family members, along with first responders, started to search for the child immediately. Boats were launched in the water, and the First Nation used their drone, with local search and rescue volunteers helping out the effort. About 4 hours later, the child was found on the south side of the Nanowin River and pronounced dead. RCMP are investigating. The Manitoba Museum is bidding farewell to one of its exhibits.
It wasn't a quick and easy decision by any means for us.
Deconstruction work is underway on the Delta Marsh and Rye Farm diorama in the Parklands Gallery. Planning the exhibit began in the mid-90s and it was completed in 2003. But the museum is now decommissioning the display because the long-term care and maintenance is beyond its capabilities. They're increasingly dealing with common museum pests like mice, scavenging beetles, and clothes moths.
Because of the authenticity and accuracy of this diorama, it used real plants, actually from Delta Marsh, in the recreation of Delta Marsh. There's natural fibers on the clothing of the farmers. All of that stuff is very appealing to these critters.
The museum is preserving as many of the plant species, animal specimens, and artifacts it can, including the mural. The removed items will be quarantined, treated, and repurposed where possible. Anything that can't be preserved will be disposed of. The museum expects work to be complete in the next couple of weeks. 3 Toronto police officers are facing serious allegations in Spain. The trio was vacationing in Barcelona, where one of them has been accused of sexually assaulting a sex worker. Spanish news agencies are reporting 3 police officers from Canada were in a taxi with a woman last Wednesday. It's alleged that one of them touched her inappropriately, and when the woman resisted, another officer punched her in the face. The Toronto Police Service says officers have been charged and were not traveling in any official capacity. A statement reads, "The allegations are serious. On arrival in Canada, one officer was suspended from duty. The 2 other officers will also be suspended upon their return to Canada in the coming days." The federal government is sticking to its pledge to double the pace of home building. In a report earlier this month, the Parliamentary Budget Officer flagged the Liberal government did not repeat an earlier pledge to double the pace of construction in the recent spring economic update. She warned the recent pace of housing starts showed little momentum toward achieving that goal. However, a spokesperson for Canada's housing minister says the Liberals are still committed to doubling the pace of building by 2035 as part of efforts to restore affordability across the country. A U.S. jury has ruled against Elon Musk in his lawsuit against OpenAI. The jury found the artificial intelligence company not liable to the world's richest person for having allegedly strayed from its original mission to benefit humanity. In a unanimous verdict, the Oakland court said Musk had brought his case too late. The trial that began on April 28th was seen as a critical moment for the future of OpenAI and artificial intelligence in general, both in how it should be used and who should benefit from it. A town in Italy is divided on what to do about dozens of aggressive peacocks. People living in Punta Marina say the peacocks are everywhere. Their loud mating calls wake people up, they block traffic, and their waste is messy. As mentioned, people there are divided. Some want the peacocks to be rounded up and taken elsewhere, while others want to make them the focus of a tourism campaign. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound curb and bike lane on Sherbrooke Street will be closed from Broadway to Cumberland Avenue. On Portage, the westbound middle lane will be closed from Carleton to Edmonton, and the westbound curb lane will be closed from Colony to Balmoral. And today is the Goldeyes home opener, so the Waterfront Drive will be closed from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. between Pioneer and Lombard Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips or updates to share, please text them to us at 10400.
That would be quite the tourism campaign that people would have to get on. Come and see our really beautiful peacocks. They're aggressive and they poop everywhere, but they're pretty. All right, 3 degrees outside this morning, north winds 23 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 91%. We've got heavier clouds hanging over us right now. There's the possibility of some scattered precipitation. If we do see it, it'll likely be in liquid form. Areas off to the east of us seeing a little bit of snow, and areas to the north of us, there are some clear patches. Some places, especially along this western border, will be seeing considerably more sunshine than others. For some, it might be on the cloudier side, and the temperatures are likely to remain a little bit cool and maybe slightly below seasonal or slightly below the freezing mark even up in the Churchill area, even though you're probably one of the places in the northeast that will enjoy a little bit of sunshine. Heavier clouds for the rest of the region. A lot of sunshine, though, all along this western border, with the temperatures at least pushing up into those double digits or almost mid-teens. Now, these are close to seasonal values, around 16, 17 degrees, I believe, are normal daytime highs in the northeast. Now, here in the south, around 21 degrees would be a seasonal daytime high. And while you might at least reach double digits off to the west of us with a little more sunshine than what we're probably going to see in Winnipeg, you're still not reaching what is normal for this time of year, not even close. And we're going to be even further from that number, topping out in the single digits with the possibility of precipitation in areas to the east of us and through much of northwestern Ontario. You could even see some scattered flakes of snow throughout the day. Warm up will come throughout this week, but we could see a little more precipitation, which, by the way, we will welcome. It's still been desperately dry, dusty and dirty, so that chance of precipitation will show up at times throughout this week, but much warmer temperatures are expected after today.
Let's check in now on the team at Virgin 103.1. Good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. We're debating whether to make this like a guessing game. Do you want to do this as a guessing game, Rachel? Like I said. Oh.
Does that work?
You guys want to play?
There you go.
Sorry.
Yep.
Do you want to do this as a guessing game, Rachel? Like I said.
Sure.
Or do you want to just yeah? Okay. So we did a ton of research, over 200 responses. We crunched all the numbers. This past weekend, May Long, was the sort of unofficial start of summer wedding season. Okay. So presentation 2026. We've broken it down again. This is based on tons of research, all right? These aren't our personal feelings. We have done the work. What do you think presentation is, Rachel Lagacé, if the person getting married is like a co-worker or an acquaintance? What would be the presentation?
Well, you have to count for the meal. You have to count for the gift.
Yep.
And you have to count if you'll be consuming any beverages at this event. So I would say that's probably maybe 150, 200.
Wow. So coworker or acquaintance, people are lowballing them. They're going 75 to 100. This is true. Now, if it is a close friend or a close family member, what do you think our research found in terms of an appropriate presentation 2026, Rachel Lagacé?
200.
Okay, so this might blow some minds.
Okay.
Our research 300 or more for wedding presentation for close friends, close family. Also, want to know something else we found? Whatever you may be, co-worker, acquaintance, pretty good friend, cousin, close friend, long weekends, if your wedding is on a long weekend, $50 discount to all attendees
I like that.
on their wedding presentation. That's what the people told us.
Yeah, and you know what? I get that, indeed. Well, thanks, you guys. Have a good day. We'll see you on Thursday.
If you're looking for an excuse to walk into a Dufresne, we have the solution. Thursday, May 21st, they've got a special event. Callie's joining us now to tell us all about it.
Yes, I'm happy to. On Thursday, we're having our sleep event. We have this event twice a year, and it's really so that people could come in and learn about their sleep. We have all of our mattresses on sale. There's free delivery. You could get a free lifestyle base with your purchase. There's a lot of great reasons, including this sweet gift that we got made from a mother-daughter duo here in Winnipeg, Verde Candle Bar. And although this is not a candle, it is a pillow mist, but we teamed up with Serta to create a gift for our customers that is like to support you in your sleep. So you throw a couple sprays on your pillow. It's a beautiful French lavender and eucalyptus, and it will just help you relax and drift into sleep. So yeah, we want you to come in, get something special for yourself just for coming in. But when you get a mattress, it supports your life and your sleep, but you're also donating to a charity. So we have our charity Dream Big, where we take a portion of every mattress sale at Dufresne and we gift it back to our communities in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. But this year's really special because we're having our Decade of Dreams events, which is a 10-year partnership with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where kids come and they think they're just like going to play with the Bombers on the field, but they actually are surprised with a bed of their own. And so this year we're gifting 100 beds to kids across Manitoba. So your support in getting your sleep solution will also help kids in your community.
One more time so it's top of mind. When's this happening?
This is Thursday, May 21st. Hope to see you there.
Okay, guys, mark it in your calendars.
If you don't remember payphones, trust us, they never sounded anything like this.
Remember, by Christina Rossetti. Remember me when I am gone away.
Peter from Dartmouth has turned an old payphone into a poetry phone. Every day there's a new 30-second poem for people to enjoy. There's also an option to leave a message. The best part? Well, there's no need to pop in a quarter to use this phone. But if you want to put in a quarter, go ahead. It will help Peter maintain the phone. Here's a look outside right now on Provencher Bridge. Things are moving well starting off this Tuesday morning. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. It's Tuesday, May 19th. Today, World Cup worries why the Public Health Agency has issued a new warning. Plus, a major victory. Which Canadian NHL team is advancing to the Eastern Conference Final? And marking a milestone, how Winnipeg School of Rock celebrated its 10th anniversary. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, there was a lot of exciting hockey news over the weekend. Of course, the Montreal Canadiens advanced in their conference, which is huge for Canada. And the Niverville Nighthawks, which they're just a 4-year-old team. They got the Centennial Cup Junior A national title over the weekend. Huge news. We're going to get some reaction from Niverville as fans. We're watching
Nighthawks.
it live. Yeah, it's so exciting. Congrats to them.
I'll jump on that bandwagon.
Absolutely. It's so exciting for our province. But let's talk about the weather. It's going to be cool one more day, but
yes,
things are turning around.
You're right. One more day to get through, and then finally it'll start to feel like May should be feeling, or at least close to it. Closer than what today will feel like, that's for sure. It's 3 degrees to kick off your morning with some heavier clouds hanging over us and a bit of a breeze out of the north that's 23 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 91%, and the possibility to even see a little bit of scattered precipitation today. Now, nothing wrong with that. I mean, we need some rain. It's been desperately dry and dirty, but it would be nice to get that rain with some warmer temperatures. maybe later on this week. But today, if we do in fact see those showers, it's still going to be on the cooler side. Some places will be seeing a lot more in the way of sunshine in areas to the north and along this western border, especially even some parts of the northeast will see more of that sun, like up around Churchill, even if it is going to be a little bit cool. We have that chance of some precipitation passing through for later on today, but then clearing in the overnight hours, and that will set us up for a lot more sunshine tomorrow. Warmer temperatures then, once we start to reach those warmer temps tomorrow, they'll stick around and last throughout the week. However, we might still see some scattered precipitation at times. And again, it's been desperately dry, so we will welcome rain in any form, even if it did show up in flurries. But after today, that threat is a lot slimmer as far as flurries go, because these temperatures are finally going to be reaching what is normal for this time of year, around 21 degrees, or at least in that range of high teens, low 20s, and maybe even some high 20s once we're looking to the other side of the weekend to kick things off next week. And drawing a picture of that dust storm, 6-year-old Mila, I love what you've done here. This made me smile. Hope it does for you at home as well. And we'd love to see more of your art, so send those pictures to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you do, you'll be entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Another warning about a high risk of measles spreading is coming from Canada's Public Health Agency as Toronto and Vancouver prepare to host the FIFA World Cup. With so many people from different countries coming at once, that's not the only virus doctors are concerned about. CTV's Kamil Karamali reports.
In less than a month, soccer fans from around the world will be flooding these Toronto streets with celebrations. But there's concern they'll be bringing more than just a love of the beautiful game with them.
For me, it will always be a concern in terms of health hazard because, for example, not everybody will be doing the proper hygiene.
And that means Althea Robinson will be taking extra precautions.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a mask and sanitize.
A report from the Public Health Agency of Canada says out of over a dozen infectious disease pathogens at risk of spreading during the FIFA events, there's one topping the chart, with measles the only one at high risk to the public, with Mpox second on that list at a moderate risk of transmission.
In most of the communities, particularly that surround Toronto, we see lower vaccine rates, and so as a result, we've got very high risk.
Last year, Canada saw its largest measles outbreak in decades, with more than 5,000 cases reported. While that spread has now slowed, the highly infectious disease is still seeing tens of thousands of cases in other countries this year alone. Both Ontario and BC say they're increasing surveillance to keep a closer lookout for the spread of diseases during World Cup gatherings and have a plan in place for a potential outbreak. But with an overburdened healthcare system, doctors question whether Canada's host cities are actually ready for a worst-case scenario.
I think we are understaffed, and this is something we need to seriously think about. How are you going to get, let's say, additional staff?
These soccer fans, though, aren't really sweating it.
This is like a minor. Be careful, but still don't let it dictate your happiness.
Hoping to welcome the world with open arms and embrace almost everything that comes with it. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
A Sunday afternoon house fire in Winnipeg's Meadowood neighborhood sent one person to hospital. Around 5:50 p.m., firefighters were sent to a home in the 300 block of Greenwood Avenue after reports of a fire. When they arrived, crews found smoke and flames from the house, attacked the fire, and brought it under control about an hour later. One person was sent to hospital in stable condition. No injuries were reported and no damage estimates were available. The city says based on initial observations, the fire was accidental and related to the home's electrical system. Canada's defense minister will make an announcement today about the Canadian snowbirds as speculation grows over the future of the fleet.
The worry here is that the gap might turn from a year or 2 years into 5. And then you lose that expertise, that culture of safety.
David McGuinty will visit the home base of the Canadian Forces Snowbirds team in Moose Jaw. Minister McGuinty has said the team's aircraft fleet is approaching the end of its life. There are concerns that changing the fleet could keep the Snowbirds grounded for years. The Snowbirds were formed in 1971 and have performed at thousands of air shows. The World Health Organization has officially declared the Ebola outbreak in Congo and Uganda a public health emergency of international concern. So far, more than 513 suspected cases and as many as 131 deaths deaths are blamed on the rare strain of the virus. The WHO's emergency declaration is intended to prompt a global response, but conflict and migration in the region are complicating containment efforts. The Habs have pulled off another Game 7 win, this time beating the Sabres in overtime.
And taken by Alexander Carrier. Headmans the puck. Shot. Score! Montreal wins Game 7.
The Habs jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but Buffalo chipped away until they tied it up in the third. Alex Newhook then came up big for the Habs, scoring 11 minutes into overtime. The Habs won this one 3-2 in an absolute thriller. Newhook had also scored the winning goal in Game 7 against the Lightning in the last round.
I wasn't sure if Jake touched it, so I kind of looked at him to see if he was going to celebrate or not, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's a crazy feeling, a lot of emotion, obviously.
The Habs will now take on the Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final. Game 1 is Thursday in Raleigh, North Dakota, or Carolina. 10 years of rock and roll and more to come. The School of Rock Winnipeg celebrated its 10th anniversary on Saturday. A live music event was held at Side Stage Winnipeg, featuring musical performances by students, instructors, and founders, along with a silent auction. The general manager of the organization says they take a song-first approach, where students learn how to play a classic rock song first, and then they break down the theory behind it.
It becomes a really engaging way to learn music with many students, as well as pairing that with the performance element of our school. You know, it gets people in bands, gets people performing, makes those connections, makes friendships, and builds lifelong memories.
School of Rock Winnipeg opened its doors in 2016. Charbonneau says the school now has around 200 students, with the oldest student at the age of 78. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things are moving quite well to start off this Tuesday morning. If you see any issues, please let us know.
A U.S. jury has ruled against Elon Musk in his lawsuit against OpenAI, finding the artificial intelligence company not liable to the world's richest person for having allegedly strayed from its original mission to benefit humanity. In a unanimous verdict, the jury in Oakland, California federal court said Musk had brought his case too late. A key gauge of Home Depot sales missed expectations in the latest quarter as muted housing demand and higher borrowing costs limited consumer spending on improvement projects. Sales at locations open at least a year rose 0.6% during the 3 months ending May 3rd, according to a statement slightly below the average of analysts' estimates compiled by Bloomberg. SSR Mining has reached a deal with Lidja Mines to sell its 20% ownership stake and its operatorship position in the Hod Maiden development project for an uncapped 4% net smelter return royalty on 100% of the project. And those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Roger Peterson.
Thank you, Roger. Let's now go back to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about Paramedic Services Week and showing them a little bit of appreciation and love this week and really throughout the year. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. Yeah, we're at Station 9. I love fire hall stories, Rochelle. Why? Free coffee. Also, they polished up my boots. I thought Kenny was going to pan down. It's okay. We're talking about the paramedics this morning. 110,000 calls for service annually. With our substance abuse crisis, 27 calls per 24 hours. And when you need them, they're there for all medical emergencies, whether it's pediatric, whether it's at a sporting game, a mental health crisis, our aging population, and so much more. So we're learning a little bit about why you should get into the profession, and of course having a thankfulness for them as well, and the more serious things other than coffee and my shoes. But all right, seriously, lovely people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's a good start to the day, or is it still really cool?
I mean, it's cool, but hey, the sun is up. It's a good start to the day. We can't see the sun. I'll just put that out there. But the sun is up, and it's a great start to the day. It will get warmer throughout this week, and in fact, we'll be able to see more of that sunshine throughout this week. But we're not likely to see much of it today, nor will it warm us up much today, as it will remain below seasonal with even some possible showers. It's 3 degrees right now. Those north winds are 20 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising. Humidity sitting at 95%. Yeah, these clouds, they're likely to linger for us. It will be a cool one today with those below seasonal temperatures lasting throughout the day and that possibility of some scattered precipitation. Now, areas along the western border are in for a much brighter day and even a bit of a warmer day. A lot more sunshine, a little more warmth, and we'll get that clearing happening overnight here in the southeast with a much warmer day on tap for us tomorrow, and from there warmer temperatures to then play out the rest of this week and through the weekend and even into the start of next week. In fact, we could end up well above seasonal with some real heat on our way for the start of next week. The rest of this week, though, with a little more sunshine, a little more warmth, there will still be some scattered precipitation, but we will welcome that. It's still been desperately dry, a little bit of a rain at times, but some far nicer temperatures, far nicer than the 9 degrees where we'll be topping out this afternoon.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
It's time now for our question of the day. We want to know what's the first place you want to visit this summer. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at CTV.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is dollar. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter dollar with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck. Morning. Firefighters were called to contain a major fire in Assiniboine Forest Thursday night. When crews arrived around 7:30, they found a blaze about the size of a football field. Firefighters managed to bring it under control within an hour, and no injuries were reported. It's believed to be human-caused. The city is reminding you, fires are prohibited when wind speeds or gusts exceed 25 kilometers. You should also never throw cigarette butts into vegetation, planter pots, or from your vehicle. A petition calling for federally regulated workers to work from home 3 days a week now has almost 20,000 signatures. The petition was filed on March 17th. It has since gathered around 19,300 signatures. It's sponsored by Liberal MP James Maloney. The petition calls for people whose jobs are mostly computer-based to work remotely at least 3 days a week starting July the 6th. Most federal workers will need to be in office at least 4 days a week. It wasn't the best spring weather on Victoria Day, but nothing could stop the sound of bagpipes. The St. Andrew's Society held its annual pop-up piper performance on Monday next to the Queen Victoria statue in Assiniboine Park. This year, Matthew Owen Hunt from the Lord Selkirk Robert Fraser Memorial Pipe Band brought the tunes. Society President Dwight McCauley says there is no doubt about the uniqueness of the sound.
You could hear it coming in a parade half a mile away. I think it's just so easily identified with a certain culture, with the Scots and with the heritage, and Manitoba and Canada has a large Scottish population, really, or diaspora. So, and I think people just like to come out. It's free, of course, just to come out and enjoy the day and have a little entertainment as well.
In case you didn't know, Canada is the only country that celebrates Victoria Day. Here's a look outside now on McPhillip Street. Things are moving quite well to start off today. If you see any problems out on the streets, please send us a text when it's safe and legal to do so. Now for some entertainment news. Reaction continues to pour in from across the country to Chris Dirkson's death. AIM Booking Agency, which represents Dirkson, says in a social media post they died in a car accident, but no further information about the crash was included. Dirkson was born in Mackenzie County in northern Alberta. The 45-year-old Indigenous cellist and composer performed with the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra in March 2025 and they had been the CPO's artistic advisor since 2021. The CPO says, quote, "Our hearts are heavy over the news." They were slated to perform at Calgary's Sled Island Music and Arts Festival in June. Music superstar Shakira has been acquitted in a long-running dispute over tax payments, just as she prepares to take the spotlight during the FIFA World Cup. That's Shakira's song Die Die, meaning let's go or come on in Italian. It's serving as the official song of the FIFA World Cup, marking a repeat for the Colombian singer who sang the official song of the 2010 tournament. A Spanish court has ordered the government there to return more than 55 million euros in wrongly imposed fines. Shakira previously reached a deal with prosecutors over tax fraud allegations in 2023. After more than 30 years on the air, Stephen Colbert is set to sign off from The Late Show for the final time this Thursday, marking the end of an era in late-night TV.
Well, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks so much for creating The Late Show 33 years ago. It's been a pleasure having you back to destroy some stuff.
The pleasure is all mine. I enjoyed destroying stuff. It's great, great fun. Thank you for everything you've done for our country.
Feelings mutual, Dave. Thank you.
CBS announced the show's cancellation last summer, citing financial reasons. However, many have questioned the timing of the decision, which came just days after Colbert, a frequent Trump critic, called out CBS's parent company, Paramount, amidst a then impending merger with Skydance, which needed approval from the Trump administration. Your primetime lineup today comes with the blockbuster Top Gun Maverick. Starts at 7. It's right here tonight on CTV. And you might want to stay in to watch that movie because it's still going to be cool today.
It will be, but only for one more day, and then it does look so promising for the rest of this week, for the rest of... I was going to say for the rest of the month. Slow down, Terry. Pump the brakes a little bit. Let's just go with the rest of the week, shall we? And maybe into the start of next week, too. We're looking at the moment through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Still some heavier clouds hanging over the city right now, and even possibly some showers that we could be seeing off and on today, although it has been dry. And we will welcome some rain. It would just be nicer if it was a little bit warmer and that threat of rain or that chance of rain didn't come with a threat of snow. Here we're sitting at 3 degrees, similar temperatures all throughout southern Manitoba, just a degree or 3 above the freezing mark. 6 would be a normal low temperature. All of us are a few degrees below that this morning, and then even a couple degrees below the freezing mark through west central Manitoba, where the sun is shining and where you might end up with some of the warmest temperatures today. It is a little bit cool to start out. A few extra clouds, slightly cooler temperatures throughout the further north. You will eventually see things on the rise, too, throughout the day. Northern Manitoba, I'm talking about. Here through the south, are on the rise still keeps us in the single digits with some heavier clouds lingering and that possibility of some showers. 4 degrees as kids settle into the classroom, 6 degrees through the lunch hour. And by the time they're coming home, 8 degrees with 9 our expected high temperature for today. And yes, that does come with a chance of showers. But clearing overnight, a lot more sunshine for tomorrow and a lot more warmth after today. Look at that. The rest of this week is looking good. Next week looking even better if you like the heat. Mercury will be on the rise with some above seasonal days on the other side of the weekend. A cute little kit spotted out in Lunder Beach area. Thanks to Brianne for sharing the photo with us. And keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
May 19th, 1962. During a Democratic fundraiser at New York's Madison Square Garden, actress Marilyn Monroe sang "Happy Birthday to You" to the guest of honor, U.S. President John F. Kennedy. The event was an early 45th birthday celebration and fundraiser to eliminate Democratic Party debt. May 19th, 2018. Prince Harry married American actress and humanitarian Meghan Markle at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. She became the first English royal of Black heritage in modern history. The couple was bestowed the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's estimated to have drawn a worldwide audience of nearly 2 billion viewers. May 19th, 2022. The federal government banned Chinese tech giants Huawei and ZTE from the 5G network after other countries made the same decision. Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino said the government would also introduce new legislation to protect critical infrastructure. China's ambassador to Canada warned in 2021 the country would pay a price for blocking Huawei.
If you come into Dufresne on Thursday, May 21st, you're going to be one day closer to a good night's sleep. Mike is joining us now to tell us all about some of the innovations. Good morning.
Good morning. So I love this event because it gives guests the opportunity to come into our store and just try out some of the things that they've just never had the opportunity to experience before when it comes to sleep. We're all about finding a better night's sleep for our guests, and one of the great ways to do that is with an adjustable lifestyle base. So these are not new. They've been around for a while, but basically what it is it gives you the opportunity to raise your head, raise your feet, makes your breathing easier, lowers your heart rate, takes pressure off your lower back, or you can use it all the way up if you want to watch TV, work, or read in bed. But the problem is that when it comes to sleep, one of the problems that people have is compromise. You and your partner have to be in the same way. So it used to be that a queen size mattress, it would all have to move together. Then we had the opportunity in king size where one side could move up and then you and your partner didn't have to have the same height or same elevation. But the problem is that not everybody's home can keep a king-size mattress in it. So just recently, we've launched a new queen split head base. And what that gives you the opportunity to do is still have that queen-size mattress, which is still the most popular size, but you can raise one side, raise the other side, the feet move together. It has lumbar support that can be adjusted from side to side, and that really gives you the opportunity to customize your side of the mattress, and that way you're not finding that you have to find a new solution or a new way to get comfortable in your bed.
And when people come in too, that's the whole idea. They're testing it out.
Absolutely, and that's the opportunity, is that you get to come in, you get to try it out, you learn a little bit about how you're sleeping now and how you can sleep better, and I love that about this.
Thank you so much. I tried it myself, not gonna lie, pretty awesome.
Ainsley is live this morning talking about Paramedic Services Week and what you need to keep in mind and the important work they do here. Stay with us. Let's go back now to station number 9, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. Hi, Ainsley. What's up?
Hi, we're talking about Paramedic Services Week. If you know a paramedic, thank them for all of their work. But did you know that this is one of the only cities in Canada that has fire paramedics? Larissa Farrell joins us now to tell us all about that. Well, first things first, share about your role.
So as a firefighter paramedic, we are usually first on scene to medical calls or any type of emergency release, so fires, car accidents, water rescue incidents. And with a medical call, every fire apparatus has a dual trained firefighter paramedic on it. So we are able to do the first initial assessment, initial treatment, anything emergent that needs to happen. And then when the ambulance arrives, we often have been able to stabilize the patient, or at least we're able to help the paramedics then get the patient into the ambulance. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting job. We do different things every day. Yeah, it's good.
What are the main benefits to this?
So Winnipeg is a very unique service. Our fire department is dual trained. Like I said, every fire apparatus has a firefighter paramedic on it. So when we arrive on scene, we can do a lot of emergent treatment that the patient needs right then and there before an ambulance arrives. So that could include a patient having a heart attack. We can get the ball rolling with the hospital so that they're ready for the patient to arrive and do an emergent surgery. Or we can splint a femur fracture so that the patient has less pain and they're stabilized, so that when the ambulance arrives, they're ready to go to be transported. So our service, I feel, has a lot better outcomes for patients.
Even you saying femur fracture, my whole body went, ah! So, but for the people who didn't do that at home, who are thinking, oh, this is a career I could get into, would you recommend it?
Absolutely. I love my job. It's very, very rewarding. Every day is different. It's so exciting. And I feel like I get to help people every day on their worst day. So it's very, very rewarding.
Thank you so much. We're going to continue this conversation coming up at 7:42, answering the question, when should we be calling 911?
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ainsley. And let's talk about this weather. We are going to see some precipitation coming soon.
The possibility is certainly there. Yeah, it is only about a 30% chance, but just keep that in mind that today I wore my rain jacket just in case we could see some of that shower activity today. If not today, at times throughout this week. However, I will say we welcome whatever comes, because just think back a couple of days ago when dust was flying everywhere, and we know how dusty and dry it's been. That wind is not going to be anywhere near as strong as it was last week, but you will still notice that bit of a breeze out of the north at about 20 clicks. 3 degrees is where we're currently sitting with those heavier clouds hanging over us. The pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 95%. Those heavier clouds could still bring that chance of precipitation in liquid form, thankfully, because we will see things warming up. We're at 3 degrees right now, which is pretty cool, but we'll make some slight gains today. Areas to the east of us, though, seeing the flurries or maybe starting to see a bit of freezing rain. You can see it changing into the purples or the greens even. That would be some shower activity. We have a chance of showers, but like I said, it is just a slim chance. 9 degrees is where we'll top out today, so don't expect it to be warming up much. The heavier clouds will linger. That breeze might even increase yet. It could at times get up to about 40 kilometers per hour and then taper off tonight as that sky begins to clear. But with the clearing sky, the temperatures plummet down to barely above freezing. 1 degree, at least staying, we hope, on the plus side of freezing. Tomorrow will be so much warmer and so much sunnier too. After that sky clears overnight, we'll enjoy a lot more sunshine tomorrow. Still a little bit of a breeze, but at 19 degrees, that won't seem so bad. Lots of sunshine and the warmth from it. Now, not quite seasonal. 21 degrees is in fact normal for this time of year, and we'll probably see those better temperatures throughout this week, with perhaps some clouds and some scattered precipitation off and on. A little more sunshine as we're wrapping up the weekend, and a little more heat looking ahead to next week.
Thank you, Terry. A 6-year-old child who went missing was found dead Saturday morning. Around 6 a.m., Mounties in Poplar River received a report that a child went missing. Police say her father woke up to find out the front door was open and his daughter couldn't be found. Community and family members, along with first responders, started to search for the child immediately. Boats were launched in the water, and the First Nation used their drone, with local search and rescue volunteers helping out the effort. About 4 hours later, the child was found on the south side of the Nanowin River and pronounced dead. RCMP are investigating. Ottawa is spending more than $1 billion to upgrade Canada's military aircraft, and millions will flow here to Winnipeg. $460 million will be used to prolong service support for the fleet until 2029. That's where our city comes in. Standard Aero here in Winnipeg is one of 2 companies tasked with doing that support work. Ottawa also plans to spend an additional $685 million on upgrades to the Armed Forces air traffic management technology. 3 men have been killed in a shooting at the largest mosque in San Diego.
Hate has no home in San Diego. Islamophobia has no home in San Diego.
Police also say 2 teenage gunmen are also dead after taking their own lives. San Diego's police chief says they're now investigating the attack as a hate crime. Hours before the shooting, the mother of one of the suspects warned authorities that her son was armed and suicidal. The identities of the 3 victims have not been released, but among them was a security guard for the center. A group called Stay Free Alberta is keeping up efforts to set up a referendum on splitting from Canada. They filed an appeal after a court ruling struck down their petition. Last week, a judge found that the province failed to meet its duty to consult First Nations before allowing a process that could impact treaty rights. Both the Alberta government and separatist organizers argue that there was no way for citizen groups to consult and that consultation isn't a right. Premier Danielle Smith called the ruling an overreach, and says her government is reviewing all legal options. Stay Free Alberta's petition organizer will be back in court today. 3 Toronto police officers are facing serious allegations in Spain. The trio was vacationing in Barcelona, where one of them has been accused of sexually assaulting a sex worker. Spanish news agencies are reporting 3 police officers from Canada were in a taxi with a woman last Wednesday. It's alleged that one of them touched her inappropriately, and when the woman resisted, another officer punched her in the face. The Toronto Police Service says officers have been charged and were not traveling in any official capacity. A statement reads, the allegations are serious. On arrival in Canada, one officer was suspended from duty. The 2 other officers will also be suspended upon their return to Canada in the coming days. The federal government is sticking to its pledge to double the pace of home building. In a report earlier this month, the parliamentary budget officer flagged the Liberal government did not repeat an earlier pledge to double the pace of construction in the recent spring economic update. She warned the recent pace of housing starts showed little momentum toward achieving the goal. However, a spokesperson for Canada's housing minister says the Liberals are still committed to doubling the pace of building by 2035 as part of efforts to restore affordability across the country. The annual Affordable Art Fair is now underway in Hong Kong.
What inspired me to curate an exhibition called British. It's all about what it means to be British today, and it's about how identity is constantly evolving.
This exhibition is always big for buyers with a range of budgets because it includes lots of different artworks all under one roof from more than 100 galleries around the world. The prices range from around $200 to more than $12,000, something for everyone. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound curb and bike lane on Sherbrooke Street will be closed from Broadway to Cumberland Avenue. On Portage, the westbound middle lane will be closed from Carleton to Edmonton, and the westbound curb lane will be closed from Colony to Balmoral. And the Waterfront Drive will be closed from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. between Pioneer and Lombard Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips or updates, please send us a text. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.78. It's lower than it was on Friday. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.63. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
Here's a look outside right now. We're sitting at 3 degrees, mainly cloudy skies as well. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
A little gray and gloomy, perhaps a little cool as well. 3 degrees to kick off your Tuesday morning. There's a bit of a breeze. It's out of the north, 20 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 95%. It was cool over the weekend. That's going to continue at least into today, but improvements to come after today, at least for the southeast. Some folks will start to see improvements as early as today, and that will come in the way of sunshine. You can see the clearer conditions all along this western border and even parts of northern Manitoba experiencing a brighter day as well. Not necessarily a warmer day, but a brighter day. Churchill will enjoy some sunshine, but still not crack the freezing mark, a high of -1. Whereas the rest of the northeast will likely deal with some heavier clouds. And yes, the below seasonal temperatures, no matter where you are. But where the sun is shining, it should be at least a few degrees warmer. Mid-teens. But normal daytime highs, even for the northwest, would be a few degrees warmer than what you're likely to reach today. And here throughout southern Manitoba, well, 21 degrees is actually seasonal, and nobody is going to be seeing numbers anywhere close to that. More, in fact, the reverse of it, 12 degrees instead. Those are the average temperatures expected throughout much of southern Manitoba. Heavier clouds further into the south or further into the east as well. And single digits, so we're not even going to make it to double digits today, never mind what is normal for this time of year. Northwestern Ontario, though, could see it even worse with some wintry-like conditions. Some scattered snow, maybe mixed with showers as it warms up throughout the day today. 9 degrees is as warm as it's going to get for us here in Winnipeg, but considerable warm-up after this. 19 on tap for tomorrow. Low 20s for a couple of days. Some off and on precipitation maybe in the overnight hours again on Saturday. Next week, things start to get even warmer yet.
Carrie, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who is live at station number 9. We're talking about paramedicine and how there's many different forms of that. And we're talking about this because it's Paramedic Services Week. Good morning, Ainsley.
Yes, good morning. We've learned about all of the titles so far, but what we haven't talked about is community paramedics. Matt Grodner joins us to tell us all about his role. So what would a community paramedic do in translation to all of the other ones?
So community paramedics provide the same care that regular ambulance paramedics provide, but they also deal with more long-term solutions for people and getting vulnerable individuals resourced with things that they might need help with in the community.
And you mentioned off camera the vulnerable population being a huge portion of that. How does that weigh on you, but how does that look day to day?
Well, I think the populations that we deal with weigh on all of our providers, whether that's comms, fire, or EMS. But you know, there's definitely a mental load in dealing with a vulnerable sector and dealing with people that require resources, or even just seeing the situations that we see. So it's important to have a great support system in place and keep your own mental health at top of mind.
And I'm sure this position has evolved over time as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it started out kind of as a revolutionary thing, and it's just ever expanding, always getting bigger. And we kind of jokingly talk about being the Swiss Army knife of paramedicine. Like, you're not really sure what we're doing day to day, and it changes often, and we love that.
No doubt. When it comes to calling 911, to be driving by and seeing a vulnerable individual laying there as an example, what should they do? What's on that checklist?
Well, I would encourage anybody to call 911 if they feel that there's an emergency present and something needs to be dealt with. One thing I do want to talk about with community paramedics is that we have a low acuity triage program. So people will call 911 and possibly be redirected to an advanced care paramedic that will further triage their call, and they'll get them to the appropriate resources. So when people call 911, it's not always somebody there immediately. It might be talking to one of our very capable people on the phone as well.
So the message is, too, when you arrive, be patient with these individuals. They're working hard.
I would say yes, but I would say we're also always coming to help you when you call 911. There's always going to be a resource available to you. We'll just make sure that it's the right one.
Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Ainsley. This is a spring cleanup that is truly a community effort. For more than 5 decades, people in Prince Edward Island have been donning gloves, grabbers, and garbage bags to do what they can to keep their province shining. Here's CTV's Maria Saru.
So much fun. These grade 6 students got to their classroom one morning to find an interesting assignment waiting for them, picking up trash.
Didn't really feel like homework, just like felt like helping the environment. I don't like animals getting stuck in garbage or like eating it. It'd be bad for their digestive system and they might die. And that makes me sad.
Their teacher, Brenda Larson, signed them up for an annual island tradition. The PEI Women's Institute Roadside Cleanup, now in its 53rd year.
We advocate for children to learn to look after their environment.
They found cigarette boxes, cans, plastic, and in some cases, scraps of metal.
The fact that people just are leaving this garbage is really stupid and it sucks.
Some had help from furry friends.
I found a lot of garbage, 2 bags full.
Sarah Outram helps organize the province-wide campaign and takes part herself. People fill these yellow bags, then leave them next to serviced roads for pickup by provincial crews.
Ooh, I found all kinds of things, quite a bit of styrofoam, lots of fast food containers.
She adds last year, Islanders collected 9 tons of trash. The Institute's president, Carolyn McFadgen, knows the routine well. First the bright vest, then the gloves, and finally the grabber. But some jobs call for more than the usual gear, like rappelling into a ditch.
My husband said, how on earth are you going to get that bag of garbage? He said, I'll go get a rope. So he tied it onto the guardrail and down I went.
Back at Elliott River Elementary, the cleanup is over, but the lesson has stuck. The roadside cleanup will be back next year, but some of the students here at Elliott River Elementary say they won't wait until then to pick up more trash. Maria Sru, CTV News Cornwall, Prince Edward Island.
Best of luck to the Washington Nationals' new call-up. Natty is making himself at home as the ballpark. The 8-week-old Golden Retriever and Labrador Retriever mix is the Nats' new official puppy. Natty will be with the team for 18 months, and he'll spend that time training not to field fly balls. He's training to become a service dog. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 9th birthday, Maggie. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, Jack, and all your family. Happy 34th anniversary, James. Hugs always from your wife and daughters. Happy 20th birthday, Anthony. Love from Mom and Dad. And a happy 95th birthday to Iris with best wishes from your loving family. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Nine degrees right now in the city with a high of 21. Now, 16 degrees is what we reached last year this time. All the way back in 1948, we had a record of 35.0. But yeah, certainly it was a little bit of a warm one way back when, and a cool one that we're waking up to this morning with some heavier clouds hanging over us. It is going to look a little bit gloomy today and stay a little bit cool and well below seasonal. We've got north winds at about 20 kilometers per hour that might get a little bit stronger throughout the day today. With these heavier clouds, even comes the possibility of some light and scattered precipitation. Now, as far as the conditions go today, yeah, well below seasonal. No matter where you are in the province, nobody's going to quite reach what is normal for this time of year. Some places, though, might do a whole lot better in the way of sunshine. Anybody along that western border, things will be looking a little more clear. And even up into the far northeast, around Churchill, a little more sunshine, too. But here in the southeast, on the cloudier side, with that possibility of showers. Well below seasonal temperatures for today, but a warm-up comes after today. In fact, the sky will clear in the evening overnight, and that'll set us up for a lot more sunshine for tomorrow. And with that sunshine comes the warm. Things will be looking and feeling a little bit better throughout the week.
Thank you, Terry. In the past 6 months, 2 drugs have been approved for use, heralding a whole new era has begun for Alzheimer's patients in Canada. But as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, they are only for patients in the earliest stages.
The news is good for patients like Greg Underhill and his wife, Jocelyn.
We're very excited about the possibility and the potential of the new drugs that they have approved now in Canada.
Greg, age 52, is now using the most recently approved medication for Alzheimer's, donanemab.
It is the second of the class of antibodies targeting amyloid, clearing amyloid from the brain. And amyloid is the first toxic protein that accumulates in Alzheimer's disease.
And Dr. Sharon Cohen says both donanemab and lecanemab, approved last October, are only for patients in the earliest stages of the disease.
So people are still independent, living at home. They may be working, shopping, banking, traveling, but they have some problems with memory and cognition.
The drugs can only be prescribed by a neurologist or other memory specialists like geriatrician or specialist family doctor. She also points out that there can be side effects like tiny brain bleeds or swelling.
With lecanemab, there's a little less propensity to cause those side effects, but with both drugs, we monitor for those possibilities.
Like I always feel good. I'm not really sure. She tells me when I'm, repeating myself lots, but I mean, right now, I don't think I'm really repeating much.
Yeah. It's definitely gotten better since we started medication and treatment for Alzheimer's than what he was before.
While both drugs have been approved, funding arrangements are still under negotiation. Lecanemab is $47,000 a year, donanemab about $30,000. Still, for the 750,000 families dealing with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia in Canada, just having the 2 options available is a step in the right direction. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Just when you think robots can't do any more, a competition in eastern China is showing the world they can in a more human-like way. These guys displayed their music and boxing talent at the 2026 Hangzhou International Humanoid Robot and Robotics Technology Exhibition in eastern China. The Niverville Nighthawks are the newest champions of Canadian Junior A hockey. The team battled their final game in their quest for the Centennial Cup on Sunday in Summerside, PEI. The Nighthawks scored at least 1 goal every period against the host Summerside Western Capitals with a final score of 4-1. The horn was blown, helmets and sticks were dropped, and the Nighthawks celebrated their win in just 4 years since the team was established. And now CTV photojournalist Zach Kitchen brings you the massive outpouring of support and cheers for the Nighthawks at Smitty's Niverville on Sunday.
it's like a storybook that we're telling this season. Right from the beginning of day one when camp started, we had a special group of guys. We knew we had the coaching staff, we've got the organization, the culture, but now it's part of the community, and the community's just embraced the Nighthawks. We've been here for the entire Centennial Cup for the last 5 games, and it is just energy galore in this building when the Nighthawks score. And when we won last night to get to the Centennial final, it was just remarkable. The energy was outstanding.
Awesome game. It's so exciting. Super exciting.
I was surprised in a way, but thank God they made it through. They're a good team. It's good for the community. It's good for the fans. It's good for hockey. In other words, excellent. The spirit, the ambiance, everything is really good.
To see these kids, these young men that haven't quit all year long, that have just come together as a unit. But you know what, it's not just about on the ice, it's also off the ice, how they've integrated themselves into the community through volunteering, going to the schools. What it means to the community, what I hear from the parents is that when the kids are playing their mini sticks, it's a Nighthawks against the Jets, and the Nighthawks always win.
Adam Scully in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, let's head to Buffalo. Game 7 overtime between the Canadiens and Sabres. Midway through the first OT, Alex Newhook into the zone. Shoots, scores, ends the series. His second Game 7 series-winning goal of the playoffs. A perfect shot just above the pad. The Canadiens moving on to face the Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final, while Newhook's Game 7 overtime winner. That is your must-see moment. Tonight on TSN, Game 1 of the NBA East Finals, the Cavaliers facing the Knicks. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, with tip-off just after 8. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Tuesday, May 19th. House fire in St. Vital. What's believed to be the cause of a weekend blaze that sent one person to hospital. Back on the market, American liquor returns to store shelves in Manitoba for a limited time. What prompted the decision to allow for another release? And creativity and inspiration on the line. The repurposed Nova Scotia payphone now lets you dial up a daily dose of meaningful words. No quarter required. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Canine Advocacy, of course, they rescue dogs. They rescue cats up in the north. They do a lot to ensure those animals get a forever home. They also take care of them. They do spaying and neutering, but they are in need of supplies right now. So we're going to tell you exactly what they need. They're going to come here at 8:45 to show us what they need. I think they're bringing an animal as well. We're not quite sure what they're bringing, but it's going to be a surprise, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. But the weather, it'll be a good day to sort of hunker down because precipitation might be on the horizon.
There's a possibility of precipitation, but overall it's just cool. It's cloudy, gray. It looks a little bit dreary out there. Not an ideal way to kick off the week. Kind of more of the same of what we experienced over the weekend with those cool and below seasonal temperatures. 3 degrees comes with a bit of a breeze. It's out of the north, 20 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 95%. Now, with those clouds that you can see comes the possibility of precipitation. It is just a slim chance here in Winnipeg, but that chance still could bring some rain or snow off to the east of us. That's what we've been watching throughout parts of northwestern Ontario. Other places we'll be seeing a lot more in the way of sunshine. Areas to the west and to much of the north, clearer conditions are expected. Now, that possibility of showers there you can see for later on into the afternoon, but then clearing into the evening overnight, and that will set us up for some sunshine tomorrow. So tomorrow will not just be sunnier, it's also going to be a lot warmer, and I think a lot of us have been waiting for the warmer weather. Still some precipitation moving through parts of central Manitoba. We have the chance still throughout this week of seeing more precipitation, but we'll welcome that. We know it's been incredibly dry and we could use some rain. I think we would just prefer the rain not come with the cooler temperatures, which will be the case today. Not even cracking double digits today. So 9 degrees is where we'll top out. 21 will be normal for this time of year. We'll get closer to those more seasonal temperatures with the possibility of showers off and on throughout the week, maybe Thursday night, again on Saturday, and even warmer temperatures, hotter temperatures to come for the start of next week. Drawn here is the dust storm, or colored here, the dust storm that we experienced throughout last week. This is Mila's interpretation of it. And thank you, Mila, for sharing that with us. Keep the art coming, please, to our website now, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you send it through the website, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
A Sunday afternoon house fire in Winnipeg's Meadowwood neighborhood sent one person to hospital. Around 5:50 p.m., firefighters were sent to a house in the 300 block of Greenwood Avenue after reports of a fire. When they arrived, crews found smoke and flames from the home, attacked the fire, and brought it under control about an hour later. One person was sent to hospital in stable condition. No injuries were reported and no damage estimates were available. The city says based on initial observations, the fire was accidental and related to the home's electrical system. The Manitoba Liquor Mart is selling U.S. liquor products again while supplies last to clear out stocks expiring soon. The Liquor Mart website posted an update Monday stating that the American-made products are available now at all liquor marts in the province. According to the post, all sales of U.S. liquors are final. Products are in saleable condition and within expiration dates, but a few of the liqueurs are nearing the end of their retail shelf life and have been discounted to sell. Product selection varies by location. As before, revenue generated from these sales will go to Manitoba charities, which have not yet been named. A provincial spokesperson told CTV News some of the products that are nearing expiry soon are cream-based products, wines, and others, with discount rates varying up to 30%. Another warning about a high risk of measles spreading is coming from Canada's Public Health Agency as Toronto and Vancouver prepare to host the FIFA World Cup.
In most of the communities, particularly that surround Toronto, we see lower vaccine rates. And so as a result, we've got very high risk.
There's concerned soccer fans attending World Cup events will be bringing more than a love of the beautiful game with them. A report from the Public Health Agency of Canada says out of over a dozen infectious disease pathogens at risk of spreading during the FIFA events, there's one top in the chart, with measles the only one at high risk to the public. Mpox is second most concerning. Some health professionals question whether Canada's host cities are actually ready for a worst-case scenario.
I think we are understaffed, and this is something we need to seriously think about. How are you going to get, let's say, additional staff?
Both Ontario and BC's health agencies say they're increasing surveillance activities for spread of diseases during the World Cup gatherings and have plans in place for a potential outbreak. If you don't remember payphones, they never used to sound like this.
Remember, by Christina Rossetti. Remember me when I am gone away.
Peter from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, has turned an old payphone into a poetry phone. Every day there's a new 30-second poem for people to enjoy. There's also an option to leave a message. And the best part, there's no need to pop in a quarter to use this phone. But if you want to put in a quarter, go ahead. It will help Peter maintain the phone. Here's what's happening now in traffic along Donald Street. Things are slowly picking up in this part of the city, as you can see here, and moving quite well, it appears. If you see any issues out there, please send us a text to let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
All right, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about Paramedic Services Week. We're learning about the different kind of modules of being a paramedic and the different sort of skills that they need based on what they will be doing in the community. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. I feel like a little kid getting introduced to a new career, another one that I wouldn't be capable of doing. This is the tactical team, and take a look at this outfit. When women say that we want pockets, I think we should be asking Mark Lebtag about that. Good morning. Thank you for being here. What does the tactical team do?
Yeah, so on a day-to-day basis, we primarily just work on the ambulance, going to your everyday medical trauma calls, etc. But we are also trained with the Winnipeg Police Tactical Support Team. So basically what we do is when they have an event that goes on, we respond with them to these high-risk warrant executions, hostage situations, armed and barricaded, potential school shootings, whatever it might be. So we're right up there in the warm and the hot zones with them, and that's why we do wear all of this extra gear.
Okay, tell us about the gear.
Yeah, so this is a ballistic vest. It's just like what the police wear, so it's safe for gunshots, etc. But we got some extra equipment that we primarily work off of. So we got all of our IV supplies in here, some chest seals, some airway adjuncts, needle decompression for potential chest wounds, etc. And in here we just got all of our trauma gear with tourniquets and some Elias bandages, some extra abdominal pads, etc. And we have our gas mask in case the police do have to deploy gas into a building to try and expedite people from coming out of their residence for a more safe manner of getting out.
Oh my goodness. And you have an earpiece too? I didn't even notice that until now.
Yeah, we do have an earpiece because we want to keep our communications kind of quiet. We don't want things loud. It's a bit of a tactical thing as well. We don't want a lot of loud radio noise and people to understand what we're doing exactly.
How does one train for this?
So basically you have to be a paramedic in the city of Winnipeg here. You can be a primary care paramedic all the way up to an advanced care paramedic practitioner. You need to have at least 2 years of experience on the job. And then with that, we do the Winnipeg Police Physical Abilities Test in their headquarters. And then from there, there's a day of high-fidelity scenarios where you get put through a bit of a stressful environment and just kind of going through it.
So cool. I was going to ask him why someone should take part in this, but if you're that type of person, you already know that you're that type of person.
Right.
Back
Absolutely.
to you.
Thank you, Ainsley. As we look ahead to more weather, warmer weather, you may need to restock your sunscreen supply. Whether you just hang out in the backyard or plan to head to the beach, a good sunscreen can protect you from the sun's harmful rays. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
If you plan to spend a lot of time in the sun, it's recommended you use a sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30. SPF, which stands for Sun Protection Factor, is a measure of how well a sunscreen protects against sunburn. Getting one is never fun. Your skin feels like it's on fire and anything that touches you hurts, not to mention the potential long-term health effects. From sprays to lotions, Consumer Reports tested more than 100 sunscreens this year. They tested them on panelists in the lab and in the water.
A lot of the sunscreens in our ratings did not meet their SPF claim on their label, but that doesn't mean that they still don't protect you against the sun's rays. Any sunscreen is better than no sunscreen.
Researchers also tested for UVA protection. Those are the rays linked to aging as well as skin cancer. At the top of the ratings with a perfect overall score, Copper Tone Water Babies Lotion SPF 50. Among sprays, Eucerin Advanced Hydration Spray SPF 50 came out on top. So what's better, a lotion or a spray?
It's easier to see how much you're applying and to get better coverage with a lotion. Sprays can be good, they're certainly convenient, but they also carry some risks. You can inhale them, they often blow away in the wind. It's not easy to see how much you're applying to your skin.
The bottom line, testing shows not all sunscreens perform the same, but using one can help protect you and your family in the sunny days ahead. It's best to apply sunscreen 15 minutes before heading outdoors. Pat Foran, CTV News.
We won't see much sun today, Terry.
No, but this is a good reminder to tell people that you could still burn on a cloudy day, but you have to have exposed skin, and that's what nobody's going to have today because we're all going to be bundled up. It is chilly out there this morning, and honestly, for the rest of today, we will probably deal with those clouds. But like I said, you can burn through clouds, but your skin would have to be exposed. CTV Live Eye brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. I've got a couple layers on when I'm up there on the rooftop today, one of them being a waterproof layer, just in case. We do have the possibility of some scattered showers today to go along with these heavier clouds that will linger throughout the day. And the cooler temperatures, that's why there's no exposed skin out there, is well below seasonal. 3 degrees is where many of us are sitting right now. 6 would be a normal low, and that would be like the lowest temperature. By now, we usually already be making gains. We have not budged at all from this low temp of 3 degrees. There are some places who are starting to warm up because you were actually below the freezing mark this morning in places like Swan River, the Paw, now at the freezing mark or even 2 degrees. Clearest conditions there, so that sun is already starting to do its job. You too will likely remain a little bit below seasonal, but some places, especially along that western border, will experience a little more sunshine, a brighter day ahead, whereas here in Winnipeg, no, it's not going to be bright by any means. Getting up to 8 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school. Well below seasonal with 9 our expected high. There are the heavier clouds, yes, but even the possibility of some scattered showers. That's why I've got my waterproof layer with me today. Now, the warm up comes as the sky clears overnight. Temperatures will be on the rise with a lot more sunshine after today. The possibility of some scattered showers throughout the week, but at least some warmer temperatures, and we could use a bit of rain. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your morning Winnipeg.
Get ready to travel back in time. Assiniboine Park is ready to kick off the summer season with the opening of 2 exhibits with a prehistoric focus. The zoo's popular Dinosaurs Uncovered is back in action. It features 14 life-sized animatronic dinosaurs along a forested trail and includes a T-Rex. Next up, the new exhibit, Monsters of the Abyss, dives into the history of prehistoric and modern-day aquatic predators. Visitors will also have the chance to meet and interact with species like the diamondback terrapin, common lizard, and the Asian water dragon, all while also learning about the past.
Learn about the ecology of them and why they were so feared. There's actually really cool fossils in there as well, and you go through all the different times in history and kind of learn about where our animals have come from and where they might be going from here.
The exhibits are now open and run through September long weekend. Both are included with regular zoo admission.
Welcoming Taylor Kay back to the show. Taylor, good to see you. Always love catching up.
Yes, and it's for a good cause this time, too.
I love this. And here's the thing, because listen, this is across the country. I know it's not just us having the crummiest spring ever. So if we're not getting outside to just soak up the sunshine, you're going to give us some tasks to keep busy inside, aren't you?
Well, yeah, and to declutter, because Diabetes Canada has another event coming up on May 23rd. I'll give you the locations, but just by, decluttering, putting some stuff in a box, whether that's, some clothing and textiles and shoes to other items, and you really are giving back to a great organization. The revenue generated through you giving back helps fund crucial research, sends kids to camp, and the donated items help reduce landfill. So since 1985, Terry, $200 million has been invested in research camps with people donating, with Diabetes Canada. 30,000 kids with type 1 diabetes and their families have gone to D camps, and over 3 billion pounds of textiles and household items have been kept out of landfill since 1985 with the Diabetes Canada clothing collection program.
I love all of those numbers, from helping out the kids, raising the dollars, and yes, saving our landfills. So being a little bit more green in our approach to keeping our houses clean. So let's talk about that cleanup then, and what kind of items they're taking.
Okay, so I mean, really, it could be like that mug. I'm getting rid of this mug. It was for my children. I'm saving it. I'm like, it can be for another child. Pillows, we're thinking about shoes. You can get the full list at declutterfordiabetes.ca. I need a wing woman. Terry, what do you think of this jacket?
Okay, no. If you give that away, you let me know what location is going to, because I'm coming behind you to collect it.
I do need a wing woman, so I will keep that. But, again, that full list is online. So even extra sheets that you're like, okay, this is not my style anymore. I have teenage daughters. They're switching their styles each time, like when they go from tweens to teens. So, and if they're in great condition, again, put them in a box and get ready to donate them.
Okay, fabulous. Tell me again when this is happening. Did you say the 24th?
The 23rd.
The 23rd.
So the 23rd,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
So it's going to be at the St. Vital Center, St. Mary's Road. Look for the Diabetes Canada truck. Again, May 23rd from 9 to 2. There's going to be locations right across the country. So call your family and friends. I know you have family in Saskatchewan. You got all brothers and sisters out there. You can call them too, Terry.
Okay.
Call them up because there's locations happening right across Canada. Again, declutter for diabetes.ca.
I love that. I'll pass that information along. I'll share it with everybody. We're going to share it with all our viewers right now. May 23rd, donate. It's going to a great cause. And you're going to be breathing easy after that, clearing out your space, able to just like sit and enjoy things. And hey, you might find that jacket. That would be amazing.
I'm keeping it. Okay.
Good choice. It looks amazing on you. Taylor, always good to catch up. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
A U.S. jury has ruled against Elon Musk in his lawsuit against OpenAI, finding the artificial intelligence company not liable to the world's richest person for having allegedly strayed from its original mission to benefit humanity. In a unanimous verdict, the jury in Oakland, California, federal court said Musk had brought his case too late. A key gauge of Home Depot sales missed expectations in the latest quarter as muted housing demand and higher borrowing costs limited consumer spending on improvement projects. Sales at locations open at least a year rose 0.6% during the 3 months ending May 3rd, according to a statement slightly below the average of analysts' estimates compiled by Bloomberg. SSR Mining has reached a deal with Lydia Mines to sell its 20% ownership stake and its operatorship position in the Hod Maiden development project for an uncapped 4% net smelter return royalty on 100% of the project. And those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Roger Peterson.
Tonight.
And he's like, get your stuff, you're getting off the plane.
A W5 investigation that could change the way you travel.
You're all being detained for transporting narcotics.
We reveal how corrupt airport workers are turning innocent travelers into unsuspecting traffickers. Exclusive data on how often it happens and why you could be next. Tonight on CTV News and ctvnews.ca.
Okay. Cool out here this morning. I've got my rain jacket on. You're like, why, Terry? Well, because there's the possibility that we see some showers today. I know it's dry and we would welcome some rain. I just wish it came with some warmer temperatures. Right now, these heavier clouds hanging over us. We've been stalled at 3 degrees for the last few hours now. And that breeze, 24 kilometers per hour out of the north-northwest. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 92%. Now, these temperatures, they aren't even going to make it to double digits. Never mind what is normal for this time of year. A seasonal daytime high would put us around 21 degrees. If it was 21 and cloudy with a chance of showers, I'd be like, okay, listen, it's spring. But it's cloudy with a chance of showers and will probably top out at about 9 degrees today, so well below what you would expect this time of year. However, some improvements to come after today. There is that possibility that we see some scattered showers today, but then the sky clears overnight. A lot more sunshine tomorrow, a lot more warmth coming tomorrow. The rest of the week, we should at least be up into the high teens and maybe even hitting those seasonal low 20s. And on the other side of the weekend, we could get some soaring hot temperatures. Now, throughout this week, once it warms up with some better temperatures, there is the possibility of some scattered precipitation. So not just today when it's cool, but once it warms up too. This cute little kit was spotted out in the Lundar Beach area. Thanks to Brianne for sharing the photo with us. And keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
On Thursday, May 21st, you have the opportunity to get a better sleep. But also, while you're in Dufresne, look around and take advantage of the neat collections they have. Jess is joining us now to tell us all about it. I love this couch to start.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah, thanks. Good morning. Yeah, you know what? We love springtime. We love the event that we're showcasing here at the store. But spring is such a super fun time because of course, all of us Canadians want to come out of winter. We see something fresh in the store, so it's an opportunity for us to showcase fresh product, maybe finishes, covers, everything. So it's just an excited time because everybody's energized, I guess, to shop, right? And we have a lot of trends that we're following on the floor. There's also classic products, but definitely when it comes to product mixability and different covers, colors, finishes, whether that's wood or marble Rebels bringing those together, and there's no collection that we have that showcases that more than 10th and Maple. So 10th and Maple is very curated, but at the same time, all of the heavy lifting for designing your space is kind of done for you, because you can pick any of the products in the area online as well and bring them together, and they will be that whole home design experience for you.
So it's almost like you can mix and match and get multiple pieces.
Exactly, exactly. There's bedroom options, dining, seating as well. Definitely also like the product you've fallen in love with here is modular, so you can also mix and match the pieces to fit into your space as well.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you guys on Thursday. I have a chair from Dufresne. Best gift ever. I'll tell you that much.
An Ontario man was one of the first to see The Mandalorian and Grogu after the cosplayer was invited by Lucasfilm to attend the premiere on the red carpet in costume. CTV's Brent Lale introduces us to this massive Star Wars fan who got the thrill of a lifetime.
This is the First Order Stormtrooper that I wore in the Macy's Day Parade back in 2021.
That was Star Wars cosplayer Dean McInnes, front and center.
I belong to 3 Star Wars fan clubs. I belong to the Mandalorian Mercs, the 501st, and the Rebel Legion. So with them, we do a lot of charity events. We go to children's hospitals. All the money we raise goes to the charities.
Dean has 9 official Star Wars costumes, including this Darth Vader one from The Empire Strikes Back. But it was his official fan club approved Din Djarin outfit which caught the attention of Lucasfilm. They flew him from southwestern Ontario to Hollywood to be on the red carpet for the premiere of the upcoming film, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
We dressed up and went out on the red carpet, and we met Pedro Pascal, Jon Favreau, and all the stars that were in the film. They signed our stuff, and it was so great. And then right after that, we de-kitted, and they waited for us to come into the theater. And we went into the El Capitan, and we watched the movie, and it was fantastic.
Thursday night, McInnes will make the 1-hour drive to join 15 of his fan club friends in London, Ontario for the local premiere.
It's an adventure from start to end, and Grogu is the star.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand in your pocket. Today's code word is dollar. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter dollar with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Tune in tomorrow for another code word. Good luck.
It's cool outside this morning, still 3 degrees. That's a below seasonal start to your day. North-northwest winds are 24 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 92%, and we've got these heavier clouds and the possibility of some scattered showers. That will be falling through the southeast, but showers still beat snow. Not that any form of precipitation is bad. It's been dry. We need it. I just don't want to see snow. And unfortunately for some in areas to the east of us, that's exactly what you're waking up to. For others, it's heavier clouds throughout southern Manitoba, but for some, the lucky ones along this western border and up into parts of northern Manitoba, you're actually enjoying some sunshine. And some places where the sun is shining, you might even reach double digits. Still a little bit below seasonal, but double digits, an improvement over what we're going to see today, topping out at 9. 21 is in fact a normal daytime high, not even close to that, not even double digits. Except for the wind speed, yes, that's going to be pushing a little bit higher today, at times gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. Now, those winds should taper off overnight as the sky clears out. We'll fall down to 1 degree, but with that clearer sky, we'll enjoy a little more sunshine tomorrow and a little more heat as well. 19 degrees expected, but that breeze increases again, back up to 40K winds out of the south this time. Now, off and on throughout this week, we might see some scattered precipitation, which again, we will welcome. It's been dry, we need it, but at least these temperatures will be closer to seasonal, even getting hot into the start of next week.
We have breaking news this morning. Canada's inflation rate rose to 2.8% in April, driven in large part by higher energy prices, most notably gasoline prices from the Iran war. Statistics Canada says the cost of gasoline was 28.6% higher year over year in April as the conflict in the Middle East disrupted global oil shipments. Food inflation slowed to 3.5% last month, down from 4% in March. Analysts had been predicting the annual pace of inflation would top 3% for the first time since 2023. StatsCan says consumer prices rose 0.4% month over month. Tens of millions of dollars will go to rural communities across Manitoba to improve internet and transit services. More than 2,300 households from 11 communities are expected to benefit from a federal funding boost to 4 high-speed internet projects. It includes Grand Rapids, York Factory First Nation, Garden Hill First Nation, Red Sucker Lake, and Moose Lake. Completion dates range from December to March of 2029. 5 transit projects are also getting a boost from the feds. It includes the purchase of a new bus for Arburg and a van for Dauphin, transit feasibility studies for Fisher River Cree Nation and Pine Creek First Nation, along with an active transportation pathway into Tasqueyac Cree Nation. Total funding for all the projects is pegged at more than $63 million. Canada's finance minister is meeting with his G7 counterparts in Paris.
A lot on the agenda, imbalances, the state of the world, obviously the Strait of Hormuz, the situation, how we can tackle that together. I think we need to show unity, ambition, and I'm very confident in the French presidency to guide our discussions over the next 2 days. So it's great to be in Paris as always, great to see the G7 colleagues, and we'll certainly have more to say over the next few days.
The talks come as the ongoing war in Iran continues to disrupt the global economy. The leaders are also expected to discuss the growing threat of cyber attacks using artificial intelligence, as well as broader access to critical minerals. Central bank governors are also taking part in the talks, which are set to run through today. As the world eyes Canada as a tourism destination, CTV's Rachel Aiello traveled to Prince Edward County, Ontario, to learn what's giving businesses hope for a busy summer season and the challenges they're facing in becoming a year-round attraction.
Good morning, the hotel at Claremont Club.
This newly restored estate on Picton Bay is just one of many businesses in Prince Edward County getting ready for a surge of guests this summer.
We've definitely got some fully sold out weekends.
Our bookings are averaging about 10 to 20% higher than they were in 2025 for July and August of this year.
And so the cleanup is underway to try and make the most of what could be a record season for Canadian tourism. Nationwide, this year, visitors are expected to spend more than $140 billion, up 6% from last year.
There's also a push to pitch the county as a 4-season travel destination so that dreary weather days like today don't hit businesses' bottom lines quite as hard.
Right now, a lot of businesses close in the wintertime, and the goal is to keep them open year-round.
But that will require hiring more workers. And those CTV News spoke with said attracting enough labor is a major challenge.
The labor force is, particularly critical to our hospitality businesses. We're disappointed in the closure of some of the programs at Loyalist College, which have affected our hospitality businesses.
In a bid to keep guests coming in the off-season, this winery turned their old barrel cellar into a year-round tasting room.
It's just a great way to, keep people visiting the county and keep people visiting us.
After experiencing their best ever sales in 2025, thanks to Canadians buying and traveling local, this business and others are hoping even more visitors do the same this summer and beyond. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Prince Edward County.
Here's a look at what's happening in traffic along the St. James Bridge. Things are moving well over here. It was a smooth drive throughout the morning. If you see any issues out there, please let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.78. It's lower than it was on Friday. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.63. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. We want to know, what's the first place you want to visit this summer? Gimli for Addie. Susan wants to go to Falcon Lake. Marlene likes to visit the beach, Kenora, and nature drives. Helen says the lily pad at Loon Straits. Elaine wants to visit Steep Rock. She says such beautiful turquoise water and the caves. Phoebe and Felicity love to go to the cottage with the family and drive the tractor. Lil shared Captain Kennedy's tea house. We take my mom there on a Sunday drive. The first place Teresa wants to visit this summer is the pool in her own backyard. If we ever get warm weather to open it up, I bet. And Kathy wants to visit the Meadowvale Colony Market for their amazing produce and poppy seed buns. Sounds delicious. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
This is Paramedic Services Week. Our Ainsley McPhail has been at station number 9 throughout the morning, and we're here to remind people that saying thank you can go a long way for paramedics. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. Yes, a special week for them. Michelle Long joins us now, who's the Assistant Chief of Paramedic Operations. Good morning, Michelle. You guys see a lot of calls. So just how many, and what's the volume like in this city?
Good morning. Yes, it is a very busy city. It's a very busy department. We do just over 110,000 calls every year.
Wow. And when it comes to various roles, we've chatted with tons throughout the morning. Why should someone get into this field?
I think the profession in general has come a long way over the last 20 years. We've evolved a lot. It's not just about taking people to the hospital anymore. We have people working in communications center that can start giving advice over the phone as soon as you call 911. We have teams working in the community with the most vulnerable patients, and we do have advanced life support provided on the street as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do as a paramedic in the city, and it's a very fulfilling career.
Mm-hmm. And what would you want community to know?
I think just in general that, when you call 911, our goal is to get the right resources to the right people and make sure that they get the right care. So when you call 911, that may be a life-threatening emergency, in which case we send advance life support to your place, wherever you're needing it. But it also could mean that we're going to look at getting you other more appropriate resources. And so it may be that you see different kinds of paramedics depending on what your emergency is, but we're going to bring the help that you need.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a message before we're out of time, whether it be to your colleagues or to the people at home? I said earlier, you know what, have patience for folks because they're dealing with a lot.
They are, and really I think it's a great opportunity to just highlight the great work that paramedics do every day and to thank them for everything that they do for the community, and just to encourage people to be kind and to thank the paramedic when they see them.
Thank you so much. It really was an educational morning for me, Rochelle. Head to a link on our website for more details because we chatted with the various forms of paramedics, and it's cool stuff.
Great job opportunity as well, or something to think about. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go to the rooftop now. It's cloudy.
It's cloudy, it's cool, and it's possibly going to shower today. I saw a drop of something. I don't want to call it snow, but it had a little more substance to it than just a raindrop. At 3 degrees, no surprise if it was taking on a more frozen form, and that chance of showers is there off and on throughout the day today. We're also going to deal with some stronger winds at the moment. There are 24 clicks out of the north-northwest. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 92%. And yes, heavier clouds hanging over us and possibly some showers to come along with them. The temperatures, they're going to remain cool, and we're not going to be seeing much in the way of sunshine today here in the eastern side of the province. Western Manitoba will do a little bit better with a clearer sky and brighter day ahead. Enjoy that sunshine. We'll be a little bit jealous here, but we only have to wait until tomorrow before we experience those clearer conditions. In fact, it's overnight that it begins to clear, and then with that sunshine tomorrow, much warmer temperatures are expected to play out through the rest of this week. So yes, today is going to be cool, cloudy, and perhaps a little bit soggy. And again, we welcome that precipitation. It would just be nice if it was warmer. Well, that warmer weather will come as early as tomorrow and last through the rest of the week and weekend. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
In the past 6 months, 2 drugs have been approved for use, heralding a whole new era has begun for Alzheimer's patients in Canada. But as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, they are only for patients in the earliest stages.
The news is good for patients like Greg Underhill and his wife, Jocelyn.
We're very excited about the possibility and the potential of the new drugs that they have approved now in Canada.
Greg, age 52, is now using the most recently approved medication for Alzheimer's, donanemab.
It is the second of the class of antibodies targeting amyloid, clearing amyloid from the brain. And amyloid is the first toxic protein that accumulates in Alzheimer's disease.
And Dr. Sharon Cohen says both donanemab and lecanemab, approved last October, are only for patients in the earliest stages of the disease.
So people are still independent, living at home. They may be working, shopping, banking, traveling, but they have some problems with memory and cognition.
The drugs can only be prescribed by a neurologist or other memory specialists like geriatrician or specialist family doctor. She also points out that there can be side effects like tiny brain bleeds or swelling.
With lecanemab, there's a little less propensity to cause those side effects, but with both drugs, we monitor for those possibilities.
I always feel good. I'm not really sure. She tells me when I'm, repeating myself lots, but I mean, right now, I don't think I'm really repeating much.
Yeah. It's definitely gotten better since we started medication and treatment for Alzheimer's than what he was before.
While both drugs have been approved, funding arrangements are still under negotiation. Lecanemab is $47,000 a year, donanemab about $30,000. Still, for the 750,000 families dealing with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia in Canada, just having the 2 options available is a step in the right direction. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
It's no secret that there is an overpopulation of stray dogs and cats in northern Manitoba. For years now, Canine Advocacy Manitoba has been traveling to communities to rescue animals, treat them, and find them forever homes. It costs a lot of money to travel, treat, and take care of these dogs and cats. The charity is in desperate need of supplies to help them continue their life-saving work. And joining us now is Jackie Hanna. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, let's remind people what Canine Advocacy Manitoba is, how it all began.
It started with a person named Jasmine. She was a nurse in First Nations, and she started to save dogs or rescue dogs up at her work, and then it exploded from there.
And so where do you go exactly? And typically, what do you find when you get there?
We go to First Nations land that ask us to come up and help them with their strays. We go up and we bring food and some medicine and then take the strays that want to be taken, or puppies that have been born and they can't take care of them.
Okay, and so it's been around for a while. You're finding that things aren't improving.
Yes, it's kind of frustrating in that way because we take in lots of dogs every month, and it just as a matter of everybody getting on board to get vetting out there, getting bylaws put into place, and just implementing the basics.
Okay, so let's talk about where you're at right now, because it's springtime, so it's baby season. What's your situation right now at Canine?
Our situation right now is dire. We are in desperate need for fosters. We have a waiting list that is over 50 dogs. That's mums, puppies, all breeds, just waiting to come in. And we get our dogs out. We send them to other provinces to get adopted. We adopt them in Manitoba, but it's never ending.
Okay, so you're in desperate need of fosters. So what does it take to be a foster?
Well, first of all, you apply through Canine Advocacy. We supply everything. We supply food and toys and everything that you need, kennels. You take them in. Puppies are a minimum of 14 days because they have to be quarantined.
Okay.
And then adults are usually a little longer to move, either by adoption or sending them to a rescue that is looking for that particular dog to adopt.
Okay, and so with more fosters, you could chip away at that waiting list a lot faster.
100%, yes.
Okay, what else do you need right now?
Well, always, our vetting bills last year were almost $500,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's usually average. I haven't seen pretty much anything over, but 350 was the least I've seen. So always monetary donations is great. We have other ways to volunteer through K9 if you can't foster. Just check out our website, and yeah, donations of food. We have an Amazon wish list that you can check out on our page as well.
Okay, so describe to me the feeling that you have once you go out to a community, you rescue these animals, you take them home, and you see success stories.
It's an amazing feeling, and what really keeps us going. You know, we just one dog at a time. We bring them in, and for whatever reason they come in, and they go to a good home, and you see them living a life that you expect a dog to live. Is just a great feeling.
Okay, so if someone's watching right now, they either want to be a foster, they want to support you, they want to send you some cash, what should they do?
We have our website, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. You can check us out on there. If you want to do a donation, we also go through Canada Helps.
And then, of course, if you want to foster, that goes along with
Oh my God, fostering would be amazing. It's a great feeling. I've had over 400 fosters myself, and I love each and every one of them, and they're all doing great.
It feels good when they get home after that.
Oh my gosh, I just had one for 6 months, and he just got adopted.
Aww.
Melted my heart.
That's beautiful. Well, if you want more information, we do have a link on our website on how you can adopt or foster an animal. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, and a great day to get your pooch outside, even if it is a little bit cool and cloudy. 3 degrees at the moment with a north-northwest wind, 24 clicks. The pressure rising, humidity sitting at 92%. But you'll be looking for an excuse to get outside after today, and perhaps having a pet around. It would be a good idea to do that because the warm-up is going to come after today. The rest of the week is looking pretty spectacular. Today, however, with these clouds comes the possibility of some precipitation. Yes, the cooler temperatures and even some stronger winds increasing throughout the afternoon. Topping out at about 9 degrees. That is nowhere near seasonal. 21 would be normal for this time of year, but the sky clears overnight after that chance of showers today, and that'll make way for sunshine tomorrow. Starts to warm up, then finally reaching those more seasonal temperatures. Still some scattered precipitation off and on throughout this week, but take a look at this warm up as we're wrapping up the weekend and looking ahead to next week. Mercury soaring in the sunshine. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
So before we say goodbye, we're going to show you some fun video. Many people traveled this long weekend, so we start things off with the funniest flight number. Check this out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your Lufthansa Star Alliance flight LH2222 to Toulouse, we start with her.
That's a lot of twos. The tongue twister video has gone viral, with many commenting it's funny every time they hear it, especially when it's their flight, for sure. Now to this toddler who didn't understand why she was getting the silent treatment.
Wanna be my friend? Wanna be my friend? Aww, you don't want to talk to me.
2-year-old Sienna doesn't understand why her sister won't talk to her. She asked little Lila if she wanted to be her friend and got no response. Even though her mom tried making excuses for the 2-week-old baby, the toddler wasn't convinced.
That's a big question to bail on.
It's so sweet. And then one pet owner's dog is channeling his inner Michael Jackson. Look at him go. The dog can be seen dancing to Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, wearing his own Jackson-like hat. Later in the video, you can see the hat falling. No. The dog picks it up, puts it back on. It's a Smooth Criminal. Pretty smooth indeed. Wow. Well. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.